still do that in this country we're in. Okay. Do we have any recognitions? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Now call this meeting of the East Newton School Board to order.
Thank you.
Do we have any recognitions?
You do.
Who would they be?
Mr. Patterson's up.
This is Caleb Hatfield. Caleb is a senior at the high school and just epitomizes what we would put as a patriot for East Newton High School. Caleb's involved in probably 8 different organizations and clubs. He's a young man I can ask to do anything, and I know it'll be done and done correctly and done effectively. And just does a great job at our school. It's one of those kids you look at and you know this is a leader, and he can be counted on. And so we were thrilled to have him nominated as our Patriot Pride Award winner.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Caleb, come on up here, brother. Get a picture.
Yeah, sorry, gonna take your picture.
I don't know.
Can't get out of it.
Terry, hold on. Terry, fold his collar down on the other side.
There
you go.
That's the style, though. Ladies action. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. Well done, Caleb. Thank you.
Good job, taking care of people. Hey, are we going to approve or amend the agenda? Any amendments? If not,
I make a motion to approve it.
okay, all in favor, say aye. Sorry, second.
Second.
Thank you. Motion passes, the agenda is approved. Any public comment this evening?
None.
Okay, approval of the consent agenda, we're gonna pay the bills.
Make a motion to approve it.
Bandy moves, is there a second? Matt seconds, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 7-0. Okay, we are now ready for program evaluations. Who is up on this one?
I got you up first.
PDC program.
PDC, Professional Development Committee. Do you have it?
I did have,
I think I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I blame Tammy if you didn't have it. If anybody has any questions about it, just basically what the PDC committee is, it's a group of teachers that is made up of Granby, Triway, and the high school, and they get together and they talk about, you know, aspects of professional development that the teachers can be in. They have forms that can be filled out by various teachers on PD opportunities that they can go to. We have money that we spend yearly on teachers that we're actually required to spend on teachers. So we have all those. We use it for a variety of different things. We're sending a lot of our teachers currently right now to, last year we sent a lot of them to the BIS training and dyslexia training. We sent a few of them to the dyslexia training earlier in July. We've got a couple of the new teachers going to the BIS training here coming up, and we have some teachers that are going to the Missouri Teachers Academy, which is new coming up, and it's really for your teacher leaders. And so we're trying to send about 2 or 3 from each campus to go to that, and that's starting up, I believe, next week. There's about 8 or 6 different meetings throughout the year that they'll be going to for that. The PDC committee meets monthly. They go over, you know, where the money's been spent. It's drilled down a little bit farther now because now we're required to have an item number for each campus. It used to be we had, you know, PDC money that was for going to meetings. Well, we still have that, except now it's for Granby, Triway, High School. So now you can now it narrows the focus down on where the money's being spent and everything, so you can see if money's not being spent here, you need to go to that and say, listen, we have some money here available, so we need to make sure that we're interested in going to that. I've had, you know, teachers that approach and ask if they can go to various organizations. I was just approached by high school social studies teachers, see if they can go to one in February. That's promoted by DESE, so we have a lot of different things going on there. So, one of the things that they're investigating right now is the possibility of a digital library. And these are books that you can basically, you know, to make it sounds simplified, it's a Kindle type book basically, and you can get various different titles. And so if there are things that admin would like for the teachers to do for book study, or if there are books that teachers would like to have, they come in big bundles. And once we purchase them, they're ours forever. So even though this may be my group of teachers for this year, if 3 of you leave, we still have those. And we can let 50 people read them, 100 people read them, 200 people read them, as long as we do that. So that's something that the PDC is exploring as well right now. So,
What
anybody
is
have-
the budget on the PDC this year?
Oh,
61.
61, thank you.
Yep.
And we just split that into thirds for each campus. So, and it's no big deal, like, we understand that maybe Granby has more teachers, we still split into a third, and if they need more money, we can move it over.
How do you choose the teachers that are,
They're elected
they're elected? and
by their
asked?
peers,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I noticed this is, it's 1% of the Missouri State Foundation, is that
No, 1% of our overall budget.
1% of the overall budget?
That has to be allocated, and you have to spend 75% of that 1%,
Okay,
if that makes
We
sense.
spend all
Higher
of
order
our
of
percent.
magnitude.
yeah, 3/4.
Yeah. And if you don't, you could say, I'm not gonna do that, I wanna watch my pennies. Well, then the state can say, well, we're not gonna give you any more money then, so you wanna spend your 75%,
Okay,
so.
you can carry over the.
Yeah, you can, but you gotta spend the 75%.
Yeah, but you can carry over 25% to the next year.
Could.
Basically, if it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have,
We've
last
always-
year we carried over a little bit, but that's the first time in a while.
Oh.
And that's because I was very conservative, so this year we've got, they're planning to spend the whole 61,000.
Yeah. And that includes substitutes as well. A lot of people don't think about that, but if you all go to something, well, we pay for the sub, so that's $75 a pop times,
So
7.
that fund pays for that?
Yes,
Comes out of that?
one of them does, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay,
Thank you.
good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, who's up next?
Evaluation, Scott John.
Okay.
You guys have should have got a evaluation and the list of the tests that we have for our district.
I just said that.
Right here.
There you go. You have the one looks like that.
Yep, it's on the back, yeah.
I had updated it, the list of testing instruments, for what I do for my job. Eliminated ones that I don't use anymore, that are out of date, just because, why have them on my list if I'm not gonna use them? But that happens because they get, redone every 10 years or so, is about how often they re-norm those, and so they give it a more accurate measurement. Do you guys have any questions? Okay.
Do you have a cost on what all these cost?
I could, but
Okay.
it would take a while.
I mean, I know you do, but I knew it.
Yeah, it's, because we don't.
They're all different.
Well, yeah, they're all different. Usually I don't know, I mean, of course, the mapping OCs are one thing. Study Island, I don't know the cost on it, but like anything that we use for the special education, we can get into the cost. We have to buy the test kits and then the upkeep as far as like, we have to have protocols for those, so it's whenever we need them. The big expense is buying the whole kit up front. So, and that only happens, once they're usually, we don't always do that. It's just, I feel with my profession, ethically, I have to have the updated version. I can't, if there's a new version, I can't use the older version because it's not gonna give the good results.
Right.
So, I mean, for using this to help kids, I wanna have the best possible results, excuse me, to use.
Okay.
But if you want it, I can get it and break it down for you.
No, don't.
Study Island's about $9,000.
About 9,000.
That's all district funded, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Do you need a motion? Yes, we do. How about a motion to approve those reports? Okay, got one, we got a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next one, our superintendent reports.
Since my computer is 9% updated.
9%, huh?
It's been a while. So your microscopic print-offs here, we'll start with enrollment.
Our current enrollment as of this morning is 1331, and for some reason I didn't put in attendance, I don't know why. 1331, our last year to date attendance on this day was 1335. So we are staying consistent, and that's what we'd hope for. And hopefully this year we won't lose as many, because remember we ended the year at 1294 last year. So we've got working on ways to try and keep kids here. And right now the high school enrollment is much higher than we ended at 380, and our current high school enrollment is 413. So
Nice.
that's nice. We had
It
some,
is real good.
we got some kids over there, so that's a good start. So,
The other two campuses.
the other two camps. Our currently, Granby's got 531, Triway has 397. I wish we got to keep our pre-K kids in our attendance, because we,
397?
397, yep.
Was Triway or was that?
Triway's 397.
Granby's 531.
531.
Yep, Granby's 531.
She just
Oh,
couldn't read it.
it's on
Yeah,
there.
it's on there.
Yeah,
It's just
I know. Wait, let me
microscopically
get closer.
Yeah.
Another pair of glasses, that's it.
Stack them.
Financial report, our cash flow at the end of August was 2.3 million, which is about $200,000 less than it was last year at the same time. And that's because, you know, of our issues last year. So one of the things that I was talking with Karen Taylor about, we were trying to guess at what the cuts we made, how much money we'd save each month on expenses for payroll. And I guessed somewhere between 40 and 45,000, and her rough estimate for this month before paying the bills is right at 45,000. So we'll save about 40, with all the cuts we made last year, about $45,000 a month in salary, in overall salary and benefits to teachers. So that's what we were hoping for, so. Revenue and expenditures, currently we are $674,000, almost $675,000 ahead. Our expenditures, our total expenditures for this year so far, that's the next slide over, the second one that says financial which you can't read, but I wrote down for you. Our revenue thus far this year is 1.6 million, or last year was 1.6 million, this year is 1.57, so we're down about $72,000 in revenue. But some of that is special ed monies and federal monies that just isn't coming in. We are right about where we thought we would be. Our overall expenditures though, our expenditures this time last year was 1.1 million. This year it's 900,000. So at this point, last year we'd spent almost $275,000 more at this point last year than we have this year. Now remember, that's gonna balance out. We're gonna have to pay some big bills here pretty quick, so it's not going to be, we're not gonna stay that far ahead. But the goal is to get ahead. Remember, we gotta get ahead until the local money comes in. And then once we get ahead, then we'll balance back out for the rest of the year. Because we receive all our local tax funding in December and January, and a little bit in February. But we have to be ahead of the game to be able to pay bills and everything until the end of October, and then when December gets here, we'll bounce out again. So we start off a little bit ahead, and then through October we come back, and then November we come back again, but then December and January we start getting ahead again. So
That 45,000 that you were talking about, is that on a 10-month scale, 9-month, a
that's
year, 12 months?
that's a year. That'll be every month for the rest of this year, which will come out to about the $410,000 that we figured. It should come right out about $410,000 in savings.
Anybody else?
Let's see, year-to-date labor, we're actually down, compared to what we paid, 15,000, but we've saved, that sounds strange, but it's a weird anomaly of it. We're actually paying $45,000 less in salaries this month, so that sounds weird. I have to figure that out. I can't read the other cost centers. Sorry, I tried to read it. But basically, it shows we're right where we were last year. The spending is very close to what we were doing last year, so we're not crazy spending. And utilities we're a little bit actually a little bit ahead in electricity this year. We haven't spent quite as much. And that's the financial report. It's, we look very strong right now, financially strong right now.
Anybody got any questions, comments?
If you would all like this printed bigger, I'll print it bigger for you.
Yeah,
You
but,
can use your phones and.
Yeah, and you
And
enlarge it.
magnify it, there you go. So financially, we are sound and we're in good shape right now.
That's the only way I can read it.
nothing on the horizon that causes
It was a
you
pretty good
heartburn,
idea. I was like,
so-
oh, I know
Actually,
it.
we are still being funded at last year's,
Glasses didn't
state
have that.
adequacy target, which is 6241, and we're supposed to go up to 6308. And if we can maintain our current attendance in November and December, I'll talk with Desi and see if it would be okay to, if it would be a good idea to estimate our average daily attendance. Because if we're higher than we were last year, and we estimate, we'll get more state funds. So that's something we'll look at on the horizon. We'll make sure we maintain it for a few months, and then I'll work with one of the DESI financial folks to see if it would be a good idea to estimate our attendance, our ADA. If it's higher
Than last year.
than last year's, then we want to estimate, and then we will get paid a little bit more state funding.
When will you know, depending on, what do you say, 61?
So it's 6241 right now. It's supposed, if,
But that was last year's number too.
that's last year's numbers, and that's what we're currently being funded at per child, is the way that works. That's our state funding. It's supposed to go up to 6308. And when that happens, the way that works is, that's what the expectation is, that's what everybody's thinking is gonna happen. So when it goes up to 6308, our monthly payments will actually go up higher than the 6308 to make up.
So it's
for the-
retroactive.
It's retroactive, and our payments will actually go up.
Okay. So attendance wise, are we seeing any concerns
Nope.
this month? I mean, we're still good?
We're good, we're good, things are going well. Thank the teachers and administrators and everyone, kids are here, working hard.
Questions, comments? Everybody good with that?
We're at the ADA at 1320, that's $88,000
Per
per
day,
for that difference on the,
yeah, it would,
section two.
over the 9-month stretch, it would be, yeah, it's not gonna be a whole bunch, it's gonna be a little bit, but every little bit helps. It's probably gonna be, you know, I hate to guess too much, but it's not gonna be much more than $25,000-$30,000.
But still.
That's 25, 30,000, I mean, that's 25, if we are able to estimate and be higher,
Oh,
it wouldn't be a massive amount of money, but it would be, if it's more, we're gonna do it, so.
Okay. All right, operations report.
We have applied for a grant through Missouri Department of Natural Resources for buses. If we would obtain that grant on 3 buses, we could get a total amount of $22,000 apiece to help on buses for $66,000. So we've applied for that, and we'll probably find something, I think, out close to the end of October.
66,000 per bus.
22,000 per bus, $66,000 total.
Oh, total.
Is that to help buy new buses or is it
Help
just
buy
to
brand new
upkeep?
buses, and you
Brand new
gotta take
buses.
3 of your old buses and
And retire.
knock a hole in the motor and
You have to retire them.
Now, what buses would we be replacing?
3 of them are the two 2000s and 1 2001.
Okay, and those,
That's got, it's gotta fall in a certain time period in that.
that's what I was wondering, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
And so,
whether we receive that or not, we'll be recommending purchasing 3 buses. We're just, this is an opportunity, it's a great opportunity, we're gonna
Sure.
we're gonna recommend buy 3 new buses no matter what. Yeah, but we wanna
It'd
make
be
sure.
nice to get a grant for it.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, yep.
and so we'll know by the end of the year, you
In
know?
October, I believe.
End of October. Okay, and then do we have to purchase them?
Have to be purchased by March, end of March.
So we would actually get 2020 buses or 2019?
No, I believe they're 2020 chassis with 2018 motors. That's what they are. It's not cheap. They're more now. 77 passenger is 91 and a 71 passenger is 89.
And so
And
And Jason wants the 77, which makes sense. I mean, it was like $1,400 more to get.
Yeah,
But
do we have
it-
anything that's not a 77 passenger?
Yeah, we still have some of
We
the
still
smaller
have
ones.
60s.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but we can still get around with the 77s everywhere we need to
We
go.
have plenty.
Yeah, we have,
We have.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I think it's great. Any other questions?
Oh, he's got.
I am, sorry, you're fine. Laura and I have also applied for a USDA National School Lunch Program grant. to replace the outdoor cooler here at the high school. It is a cooler freezer, a 1968 model, I do believe. That grant doesn't have enough money to replace both of them. The need, Lori thinks, is just a cooler, so if we could replace that cooler, we take both of them out and just replace the cooler, so. I'm not exactly sure when we'll find out about that one.
But now, we are gonna be okay with that, there's no
Yeah.
issues with it?
No.
It's just, it's another grant opportunity that would help us infrastructure wise, and it came,
It isn't it?
yeah, it came our way, and we talked about it, and it's a no-brainer. Apply for it. If we get it, great. If not, then we gave it a shot.
And when it goes out, we're gonna have to buy one anyway.
That's what I was gonna ask.
The double to replace that one's gonna be around 45,000. We've asked for 18,000 to do just the cooler, so.
Is that gonna be one we could add on to and make it?
What it'd be, if you wouldn't add on to it, you just put it in that same spot. I mean, if we get the pad that's already on is big enough, we can just put another one in.
Okay.
We'd add a freeze in there if we need to.
Okay.
High school water hookup, tentative scheduled to hook up this Monday. Now, I've heard different things the last couple of weeks, and I understand why. They're waiting on a water sample to come back, and then, once that sample comes back, they wanna run that system before they put us on, so they can work out anything they need to work out, make sure the pressure, make sure he can run his gauges and get what he wants, so. That tentatively, it is planned to do Monday, so, barring everything goes right.
I thought I already hooked up the first one. On mine, I think you did run a test.
Did it?
So,
And then, I know, was asked about conference calls, WebEx, is what I've looked into, that's a company we'd have to pay a monthly bill to. I think, if I understand it right, it can be like $14 a month, or it may be a little bit more just to do it. Oh, we need it this month, we pay $20 and have it, so we don't have to pay it every month to get it. But it'd be something we could probably pull Karen, Marnie Stone out and just put over here, and you would have a number to call and a code to push in, and then we'd all be in.
A regular phone.
It would just have a regular phone on
So
speaker.
it'd just be a monthly charge, or
Well-
a one-time charge anytime we
Yeah.
did it, yeah.
I think it's a good
I
idea.
do too. Thanks for
We may test that out a little bit more. Me and Scott and Tammy's tested a little bit.
I don't know about that, but
And Granby Telephone uses it, they've had good luck with it. I know Brian uses it. That's all I have. Any questions?
where are we on solar?
We're doing good. Like you said, our price going down, when I look at the bills, you see what's received and delivered. We've had some bills that we've made, not really
Right,
make
we're not
money.
making money, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to pay anything on.
Okay.
Awesome.
I know, at the game the other night, it was pretty muddy down there north end of the bleachers
Mhm.
during the wind.
Oh, off the home?
Yeah, up the home side of the ramp there, or the stairs that go down there. That's pretty
But that
muddy.
was just on a big amount of rain. I mean,
Well, I know, I'm just saying, but if we could put some gravel there or something, that's. Good.
Okay. Anything else? Rusty, thank you. Curriculum and instruction report. So there's only one left, so it must be you.
It's me. Most of our diagnostic reading assessments are done, with the exceptions of grades 5 through 8. Those are going to be starting probably tomorrow. And then the primary dyslexia screening is also started for grades 1 through 3. It's almost done. Kindergarten, we haven't started that yet. They probably won't do that honestly until probably, I would say, late November, maybe December. They'll probably try to do them as deep in the semester as they possibly can, because we basically have a semester to get them done, so they'll probably wait as long as they possibly can to do it. Met with local principal of a non-public school regarding federal money. We're kind of required to do that. Any of our kids that go to a non-public school, that choose to do a non-public school, or if the school wants, we can give them part of our federal money. That's approximately $600 a student. We have 10 students that are attending a non-public institution right now, and those 2 are from Granby, 8 are from Triway. But out of those 10, only 4 are eligible for the money. So we met with them, and now it's just up to them if they want to go through the various processes and procedures to try to get that money. Today was our first after-school PD for PK through 12. Items that were discussed were scope and sequence of curriculum and common assessments among the grade levels or the subject areas. The only hitch in the giddy-up is I need to push the time back. We said we were gonna start at 4, run till 5. 4 wasn't enough time. So we'll have to push it back just a little bit to give everybody time. Triway was having to really hustle to get up here, so we'll push it back just a little bit, and that'll give everybody plenty of time to get up here without worrying about life or limb. And then we also have a PD on Monday, the 17th. I shouldn't say the morning. Part of that time will be active shooter training for each campus. We're gonna be at each campus, so Newton County is gonna come up and do that for us. So each campus will have that in their own building. And then we'll also have the district-wide dyslexia training, because we're required to do that as well. Go through the dyslexia training with everyone, not just the K through 3. So we'll also be doing that on Monday as well.
Is it gonna take them with the water?
Whatever, they're gonna try to do it in the morning. We'll have the FEMA bill to use for restrooms, so we'll still have a source.
So you're training, who are you training to do the dyslexia?
Well, it's not so much training, it's just more of this is what dyslexia is. Okay.
It's a state mandate,
Yeah.
starting this year, that we have to have every employee, every teacher, a 2-hour dyslexia training. And
Okay,
it's
so
just-
they can recognize
Correct.
some symptoms or characteristics.
Because even if they're not the ones testing for it, which is just grades K through 3, they'll still be able to be cognizant of, this could be a situation.
And that's one of your update MSBA policies that's in there as well, so. Just extra information there. More of this, yeah. I read them all.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
One last thing I forgot to mention, I've been doing the, traveling to meet with teachers individually, and at Triway, I've met with 17 so far, and I've got 6 more scheduled in the next couple of weeks, and it's not mandatory, so there's a few that have chosen, who've said, no, thank you, I've talked to you enough, I don't need to sit down and talk with you, and then there's some that are just, it's not their cup of tea, and that's fine, so.
You just go to the campus and
Yep,
meet?
I go to the campus, sit with them forever, for about an hour, and talk, or 45 minutes, whatever they wanna do. And the high school's next, simply because it's close. And I know Tammy, about 4 or 5 mornings up, Tammy, I'll see you about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because I'm starting to Triway, so. Been doing that a lot, and that's going, I had great response so far, teachers are enjoying it.
Glad to hear it.
Give a chance to sit down and talk. I've had several tell me this is the first time superintendent's ever talked to them.
I believe that, I
So-
believe that.
So it's going well.
Good deal.
Blatantly stole it from another guy, so.
We'll-
We'll bask in his glory.
That's right. Okay, questions, comments? Mr. Robin, thank you very much. Are we ready for old business? There is none. So, new business, extended contract stipends discussion. Ms. Judy, you kind of
Yes, I
started
have
this one.
I have a question here on the extended contracts. I looked it up, I don't know if I've got every one for sure, but I know this summer, or this is what I've been told, and I know I talked to someone who said they had difficulty getting hold of anyone, at the office. That we, instead of working 4 days, that some of you just worked 3 days. There were some,
No,
No, ma'am, did not happen.
well, no, not necessarily here.
Oh.
I'm not just saying not necessarily
Okay.
here.
Because they could.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, I'll bring that to your attention then privately on some of those, because this is the thing, and it's like I've said before. I honestly, and I don't think anybody out there cares if our parents don't make up all their time. But if we're so gung-ho on making sure our parents have to make up if they miss, the hours on to make up the day.
we've solved that, that won't happen.
Well, I
again.
know, but we have been that way, but I think if we're going to do that, we need to be fair across the board, because we have administrators make a lot more than their parents. The parents are the least paid, and yet we worry more about them on their time than we do if administrators miss time. And I think we need to be fair to everyone.
Anybody else, comments?
I
Okay,
don't feel like we care more about the administrators than we do about parents.
No, I'm not, I'm saying that, though,
What are you
I'm saying that we've had this for the last 2 years, pushing on the paras on their time, that they, like the snow days last year.
Mhm.
Okay, so the pairs had to make up that time, they had to start August
6th.
6th, okay.
They report the same day.
Yeah, they had to start a lot earlier.
Actually,
this
some,
year.
they started, they started.
They started before
Yeah,
teachers
they did.
started.
So do our administrators go to school on snow days, or do they just make that time up also? How does that work?
with
It's the
non-exempt.
same thing for, it's the same thing for all, faculty and staff, but snow days, they're not required to be here, just like teachers.
Okay, but the
But
but
if
the
we,
pairs work?
but they make up that time, remember they make up that time